renforceur a été récupéré par Alpha. Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser. Par Alpha. Les assaillants ont récupéré le défenseur. Les assaillants ont refusé une bombe. Attackers being protected.
Oh gosh, haven't even turned on the camera yet. That is dumb on my part. Does it show that I've been last minute on that front here? Oh my gosh, and the hair is awful. Yeah, so hello everybody. This is gonna be game number 5 of the comps so far, I want to say, and that didn't update apparently. We're gonna be seeing Unique Esports play against Dead Astronauts. Yeah, and that UI hasn't updated for some reason, but yeah, so this tonight is going to be quite interesting, as Dead Astronauts, they're going to have both of their games at once, basically. So right now they are going to be playing, like I said, Unique Esports, and directly after that we're going to be seeing a match against who was their other opponent? It was the other American team. It was Arson Esports, right? There you go. So, yeah, they were pretty clever in scheduling both of their games back to back, and this is gonna be therefore one of the only games or one of the only streams this week that are gonna be featuring 2 matches. We were supposed to have one last Monday, but that kind of went south because I had a power outage. But hey, things do happen. And here we are. This is going to be basically attempt number 2 at having a proper, like I said, a proper, multi-game stream thingy. So, we are going to be having the map ban right here. In Unique Esports, I give them first ban, doesn't really matter. And so far, there's only, well, already rather Clubhouse and Coastline remaining. Clubhouse and Coastline, both of these would be the 2 favorite maps, and out of the 2, Clubhouse does seem to be the favorite. The Dead Astronauts are going to, prove that or show that to us once more time. And the last thing that we are going to be looking for is the actual map, or the actual sides themselves. And Unique Esports are going to be defending first on Clubhouse. Alright, so the only thing that's going to be left to do is basically to prepare said custom match and to invite the players. Let's do that real quick. There we go. for real, it shouldn't be too long. So the introduction to this match or to this stream seems a bit rushed. It definitely was. I cannot deny that. But the flip side of it is simply that we are going to be jumping into the game so much quicker that it might even be worth it to be a bit rushed and to be a bit last minute, you know? Crossfire's the ultimate siege killer. Melusi saying in English, if I was to translate this, hi and good night, I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah, in Europe, it is what, 3 a.m. right now? So how are you still awake? How are you still there? And .QE Aquatic, Austin Fawn, I have a few of them in my friends list, so inviting them shouldn't be too difficult. So the attackers, like we said, is going to be Dead Astronauts. So Dead Astronauts, they're going to be playing on the blue team. And I do want to put some amount of emphasis on that. There's Dead Astronauts and Dead Astronauts #1. So Dead Astronauts has brought forth 2 rosters in the competition, meaning that 2 names or 2 teams are gonna have the same logo and extremely similar names. Was it Unique Esports? No, I think it's once again the other American team, and I always forget their name. Arson Esports. They have played and I believe lost against Dead Astronauts #1. Yeah, exactly. They lost against DA #1. So they have the, I want to say, misfortune. The odds were slim, but you know they ended up playing both of the rosters within the same week, so that was something I wanted to underline. Unique Esports is going to be there, and nobody has joined my invite so far. Okay, custom game. Let's invite them here, one after the other. And there you go. And if not, Telio on the DAS team. Madro. I have all of them in my friends list. Wow. And there you go. Okay, Unique Esports are logging in. That's good. That's good. Madro. By the way, Madro is an amazing caster. It's unfortunate that he's going to be playing.
Hands?
Hey man, how you doing?
Kukumoans.
Hey, Madro. I'm just gonna have to flip these in the UI. Give me a sec. Update and thank you.
Shout out to Atomic Atlas on the chat. I see that Poggers. Crossfire is indeed the next siege killer.
Somebody's looking at the stream.
Somebody come get her.
She's dancing like a sailor.
Here we go. So, okay, so we have 8 out of the 10 players that are already into the game. So it should really not be too long before the match actually starts. Just gonna have to do one tiny little thing at the same time. The second to last player has joined in. And there we go.
Just to confirm, there is a delay, right?
Yeah, 3 minutes delay. So stream
Alrighty,
sniping is technically possible. I mean, sorry?
I didn't.
Okay. So I just want to remind you guys that MOS is mandatory, so don't forget to start a recording before the game begins. And after the game, don't forget to upload it on Mediafire and to post the share link on the Battlefy match page.
Okay, fine. That's fine.
And yeah, since everybody's here, just let me know when you guys are ready, and we're gonna be good to go.
Hello, House.
Hey, gently.
Okay.
All right, Unique, are you ready? Yeah, it's been a while. Let's try to keep this.
Take the lasagna out of the fridge.
What did you say?
Hans, question comme ça. Echo, il est
Yeah.
ban?
So Echo is not banned. However, using any glitch or other, say, unexpected behavior from the game is prohibited. So you may use Echo, but if you were to use the glitch, this is gonna be illegal.
Okay, fine.
So you have to like.
Sorry, you kind of cut off there.
Work?
The Echo drone becomes indestructible.
How that was
How-
just how it was.
how
You didn't have to do
it
anything
works?
for that.
How it does, I don't know, or how it works, or what you have to do to get the drone to be indestructible. Yeah.
Le glitch, c'est juste, t'as un pourcentage de chance de quand tu le lances qui devient indestructible. C'est
Oh shoot.
What
Okay.
he said.
What
So
he
yeah, let's
said.
try. Let's try to give this in English so both teams can understand. So he said you have a. I mean, it's just dumb luck. When you toss it out, there's a random chance of it being indestructible or not. So you don't have to do anything about that. Basically, that is really unfortunate. Okay, so yeah, I'm still gonna allow
what
Echo.
happens, the way it works is the hitbox glitches under the map or above the map, and that's why, or like the hitbox stays in his pocket and it's only visual. It's not. There's no actual thing to hit. That's why it doesn't work.
I see. So I'm gonna have to allow it simply because I've allowed it for the other games. So that would, having different rules for different matches is gonna destroy, the competitive aspect of it. So
Okay,
yeah.
so quick question.
If
So
it-
say somebody plays IQ and then we spot an echo drone but we can't destroy it. Like,
Yeah.
how do we deal with that? Do we
You,
just deal with it, or do we ask the team to ignore it or destroy it, or what?
in that instance, we would. I think rehosting could be a good way around it.
Okay,
So
as long
of course,
as it's not
course,
like
right.
the last minute or something, we'll let you know.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, the gentleman agreements would simply be to ask the defenders to stop using the drone, right? But that's just a gentleman agreement. If something, or if the agreement doesn't work out, we can always rehost, because that's then gonna be for technical reasons more than just somebody dropping out.
Okay, fine.
If you guys want, we can do a gentleman's agreement and just not use it. Up to you.
So
Okay,
whenever
so-
you're ready,
Okay.
we can start the game.
Two sec.
No worries.
And if there was a rehost to happen, would it be a team rehost or it would be
Yeah,
like
would
a
it count as
test?
our rehost?
No,
or...
no, because then
Okay.
it's due to a glitch at this point.
All right.
So, Tomek saying unique hype. You know what I could do? It wouldn't be worth it, to be honest.
Guys,
Because I tend to do a bar, or to add a bar at the bottom of the screen and then having you vote. Okay.
okay, fine. Team ready.
All right. So best of luck, and may the best team win. Okay. They had some fun with Google Translate for sure. For sure. I will just. Oh gosh, I'll have to start OBS if we want to have the replays available, and there we go. That is now done. A question I would have is, how do these both teams stack up against each other? The answer would be, it's difficult to tell, simply because Dead Astronauts have not played so far. So Unique, they've played a match against, I don't remember who it was against, but they won their first game. So far, they have a pretty good track record, being a flawless track record. Though, our sample size is exactly one game, so take that with a grain of salt. Whereas Dead Astronauts, we don't know them too much, within the context of this competition. As players, I do know them to some extent. Most of the players, hence why they have two rosters. Their previous team just crumbled to bits and pieces. And most of the players went to Dead Astronauts, which is, how they just doubled their size and how they were able to field two rosters. So it is going to be both a blessing and a problem. Number one is, even though the roster is technically relatively young, I mean, in theory, these players haven't had time and have too much time to prepare strategies, to get to know each other and all that good stuff. In practice, most of them have, so you can expect to have just a few elements that are going to be slightly less tuned to the movements of the others, right? And then there's Vendetta Esports, who's they are, I want to say, really good from what we've seen before. They have a really good team cohesion and coordination. So when they want to push in, they're going to be pushing in from a few different angles at the very same time, which is going to be causing a few distractions for the defenders, and all that good stuff put together is extremely effective, like we've seen before. So round number 1 is going to be played by CCTV and Cash Room. This is not unexpected, or actually it would be the quote-unquote expected thing to see, since it would be generally, there's a general consensus that CCTV is the primary bomb site on this map. However, the secondary bomb site, being the basement area, is a very close second. And therefore, some teams will go in the basement area first just to confuse the attackers. Unique Esports don't seem to be subscribing to that idea. And the gunfire is a tad too loud, so let's just tune that down the slightest amount. So yeah, some defenders will go downstairs to confuse the attackers. You know, the astronauts, they've picked a roster or a composition to attack the top floor, say, the best roster possible to do so. And now they're not going to have to adapt or to improvise, you know, once they spawn in. So that's going to be good news for the attack. And of course, Unique Esports, by picking the best bomb site possible, they're also going to be maximizing their chances of winning. So that is going to be, you know, the preliminary, say, situation reading that I can give you guys. Now that we see the attack coming in, this is going to be quite interesting. So nobody, and I don't mean nobody, spawned kennel. Like all 5 of them spawned over there. And that would kind of imply that they don't exactly plan on attacking the garage area, so to speak. And that assumption would be backed by their actions. 4 of them are on that balcony right here. 2 or even 3 drones are, you know, gathering intel. So that insertion is fairly, I want to say, let's say it's fairly prudent, since no roamer is going to be expecting them here. I mean, they did the unpredictable thing, and therefore they were able to take a foothold on the building itself before actively finding themselves into a firefight. They played Phoenix, yes, right, yesterday. Yeah, and I casted them, didn't I? Yeah, Phoenix Rebirth lost. I remember. I thought they played against once again the other American team, which I always forget their names. Doesn't matter too much. Arson Esports. There you go. I believe they played Arson. My memory was just wrong. And with that being said, my momentarily confusion caused me to miss Waze's demise. I couldn't tell you how he died, but Fawn died as well. So this is going to leave us with a 4v4 situation. Neither team has the inherent advantage. However, the push seems to be extremely, I don't want to say aggressive, efficient, or anything along those lines, but they're making very good time. I mean, there's over 1 minute 15 remaining on the clock, and they're already knocking at the OBJ's door. Plus, I do believe Smoke is going to be the last remaining defender alive, and he's no longer alive. Remaining defender on OBJ, rather. Apostle is here, and he is maneuvering himself into a dead end. So, you know, the gym area, there's only one way out, and should Montaigne be deployed in the doorway like he's doing right now, things are not going to be looking too good for him. So the rotation hole seems to be necessary. It is just going to be a bait. But the diffuser has been planted. So whatever Apostle wants to try, and there was a rotation hole right here all along. Oh no, Apostle. IQ is right there. He is going to hit 1 or 2 shots. No lucky headshot is going to connect though, and Madro is going to get the final kill. This is going to be Dead Astronauts winning round number 1 in a fairly decisive fashion, I want to say. And if I was to take a look at why or how they won it, to be honest, they didn't do anything overwhelming, or they didn't reinvent the wheel. They simply pushed from another angle, which it does not seem like Unique Esports was expecting, right? They were pretty much set up for a garage push, you know, with the one on the garage catwalk, somebody in the CCTV area, all that good stuff, right? But then the pressure came from the opposite direction, basically. Opposite direction? Yeah, pronunciation. Opposite direction, which really they had to react and quickly to. We saw 2 silhouettes going for the room, being Jaeger and Castle. Castle being the last operator alive. Jaeger has been cut down pretty early on. I believe he got a kill, but got refragged pretty much immediately. And that kind of showed us how precarious the defense was. It was supposed to be really, really good to cut off, you know, a garage push. But when the garage push doesn't come, well, you do realize that you've hedged your bets, or that you just bet on the wrong horse, basically. However, Unique Esports are going to try to do the same thing again. This time, they are going to be adapting their strat somewhat. For example, that deployable shield right here. Apostle definitely preparing a setup, an extended setup. So he wants to hold as much of the map as possible to make it so that basically they can rotate safely from A to B within, you know, a bigger area without being abruptly cut off, you know. Once again, Dead Astronauts, they're going to be spawning shipping dock, but not all of them. Which would kind of imply that Dead Astronauts, they did not plan on doing the same thing again. It was a one-off thing, depending on, you know, the advantage of surprise. And now that said advantage of surprise has been lost, of course, they won't be doing the same, quote-unquote, weaker strategy again. So Thermite is, not Thermite, Munstein is right here. IQ, being Gently, is droning, I believe. Yeah, exactly, that's Gently. Ryu is gathering intel. Aquatic is here, but oh, there's Fond as well. He has joined in, trying to help his teammates. But the garage was not reinforced. This is why Waze was able to open it up so easily. Wow, okay. Might have been a mistake, but seeing as Waze wasn't able to push through the opening he made, at the end of the day, it hasn't been too much of a disadvantage. And Telio is going to be playing the wallbang game, and he is going to be losing badly. Though he's not dead, he's lost a considerable amount of health. Thing is, Ryu knows he cannot push forward. He could eat that blast in the face. It would, you know, take a significant amount of health away from him, but he would still survive that. The problem is, there's no way of pushing Austin as long as that thing's still up. So he really has to ask Gently to get the kill on the Nitro Cell or on Bandit, who could detonate it, right? But seeing as Gently's no longer there, this is going to be a stagnant situation. The good news is, Ryu himself, he is... Oh, he pushed him forward. He was aggressive there. All basically worked, seeing as he's still alive and he's gonna get a kill. But no, he will be refragged just as soon as he knifes Aquatic, leaving us with a 3v3 situation. Unlike the defenders, however, the Astronauts' remaining players are, except for Madro, pretty low on health. Gently is going to bite the dust as we speak, leaving us with Madro and Telio, and a really lit Telio. So should Hibana, or should Nomad rather, take a single bullet anywhere to her body, she is toast. Things are not looking too good. Oh no. Oh, it's been used. Oh, that's what they do. Okay. Oh, and now he's gonna jump, and that's gonna get the kill. Good use of the utility. But at the end of the day, it is in and of itself not going to be enough, right? Getting the kill on the room next to the objective, it won't guarantee you to get the user down. The defenders still have a solid grip on OBJ itself. Apostle with the cross angle right here. He's likely to get the kill right there. Nicely done. Leaving us with Madro, last operator alive. He cannot really plan because he's going to have nobody watching him, but the timer is critically low, so what else can he do? He is apparently going to wing it. He's going to try, and of course, he was not going to go for real. He is in the smoke. He has to rotate 7 seconds. The plant is looking ever less likely. He's going to have to play for kill, and Love kind of seems to know that, is expecting him, and is going to get the kill. Lague Esports are thus going to win round number 2, and they are going to show that even though Dead Astronauts won the first round, that doesn't mean that the attackers can just walk all over them. It is going to be a solid round for them. It was, you know, fairly slim or fairly close, you know, within 10 seconds of the end, 1v1 situation, all that good stuff, the kind of stuff that we love to see because it keeps us on the edge of our seat till the very last second. But there you go. At the end of the day, the defense prevailed, and therefore they are going to be forced to go somewhere else. That somewhere else, without any surprise, being Church and Arsenal Room. You guys cannot see it just yet because it's because you guys are seeing the replays, but beneath the replays, just trust me, we're going to be seeing a basement defense next. So far, what I really do like to see is that the attack has been able to switch things up drastically. Granted, their second strategy or their second attempt didn't work out as well as the first one, but the thing is, they used a strat, the advantage of suppress was lost, and so they knew that the strat being burnt meant they had to try something new, and they visibly had 2 strategies prepared to attack the top floor. It remains to be seen if they're going to be as resourceful when it comes to the basement area, but already I can tell you that the composition is going to be different. Waze is playing Jackal, and what I assume this entails is that Dead Astronauts are probably expecting Lague Esports to be roaming a bit more, considering, you know, the basement area is a bit easier to roam with, simply because you can just hang out on the first floor and try to harass Therma Hibana when to open up the different hatches and, you know, all that good stuff. And apparently I wasn't too wrong, since Austin is going to be playing Vigil, and as we can see, he is not hanging out in the OBJ area. And also, him being Vigil is going to make him doubly vulnerable, right? So Gently, with the IQ electronic detector, can get an intel on his position. And should that fail, or should Austin not use his cloaking device at the very moment Gently is looking for him, well, there's always going to be Jackal. But one thing is for sure, looking at how Dead Astronauts are positioning themselves for their initial insertion into the building itself, they definitely do seem to be looking for roamers, and that is going to be your ways biting the dust extremely early on. So one anti-roaming capability taken off the board. You still do have Gently, considering the roamer is wearing a cloaking device, but still the attacker's initial insertion was, they were actively attempting to flush out the roamers. It unfortunately didn't work out too well. And thing is, Austin, he knew that once he was tagged, or once his position was going to be known, he was going to be in a disadvantaged position. And he acted accordingly, right? He's back on site, didn't risk his life more than needed. Love, however, is in a precarious situation. That rotation could have been cut off pretty easily should somebody have been peeking the main stairway. Madrill with only 2 Excaliburs remaining. Did you open up? Yeah, that hatch, the Moto hatch, has been blown open right now, or previously rather. Telio is putting some pressure on Blue, but Ryu is actively pushing in. And this is where you can see that the defense is actually really, I don't want to say elusive, but they don't shy about falling back, right? Conceding some, some area to the attackers. Let them take some, let them progress or walk up to us a bit more. But then it kind of works as a bait. Ways, Gently, they both died when they were pushing in, right? Leaving us with a 3v5 situation. Ryu, once again, is not the greatest threat. I think, really, he's only ever going to try to knife you. He's not going to aim down sights with a pistol, thus exposing his head, right? So as long as that shield stays up, I mean, Fawn seems to have next to nothing to worry about. Telio would be the real threat here, and he is going to show that, getting a first kill. Madrill still above him, trying to... Oh, the feet! He didn't get the feet, and there he goes, I said. Montaigne is only ever going to knife you, so you have to keep your distances, and that is just about everything you have to do. Once again, he goes for the knife. Leaving us with a 2v3 situation, 29 seconds remaining on the clock. You'll have to set foot on bomb site itself and try to plant pretty quickly. That is going to do minimal damage, and actually Apostle, I think, dealt more damage to himself than anything else, and that was a nice bait. Love getting the kill on Madro. Madro getting the kill on Apostle. 1v1 situation. Now that Montaigne is the last operator alive, he has to get a kill. Gets the first one. 2v1 situation. Now Austin knows he doesn't have to peek. He is actively going to flee. Let them plant. That's, the worst case scenario is they plant because the kill is never going to happen. And he is too little too late. As you know, when the timer reaches 0, having the finger on the F key isn't enough. The diffuser has to actively be on the ground, meaning that in theory, or rather in practice, you have to really start planting when there's like 1 second remaining. If not, it is going to be too late. And that's exactly what we saw. So, that round was really interesting. First of all, we're going to be seeing Unique Esports streaming ahead. So even though Dead Astronauts won the first round, that doesn't mean too much considering the rest of the game that we've seen afterwards, or rather so far. But the thing is, I had just praised last round Dead Astronauts' capabilities of figuring, different attack patterns out pretty easily. And once again, they just did something different. Granted, we run a different bomb side, so it does check out. But still, their playstyles are vastly different compared to when we were attacking CCTV. Plus, what I meant to say actually is right here, the defense was also wildly different. Right, the roaming game was unlike anything we had seen at the top floor. Austin getting a kill and then pulling back immediately after. Fun with the Jaeger when he was in the blue area. He also shot a bit. Didn't want to actively, butt heads with his opponents. So he didn't shy about falling back, which would be dangerous because you're conceding territory that is basically next to the OBJ itself. But it worked out. The idea being, they baited Dead Astronauts into pushing them or into pursuing them when they shouldn't have, leaving us with a 3v5 situation that Dead Astronauts were really never able to recover from. So that was good, leaving us with, a bedroom defense that we've just seen right here. And once again, the composition is slightly gonna adapt, but ever just slightly on the defense. But the attack is going to be vastly different. Telio playing with the sniper. We have rarely, if ever, seen that before. What did he want to do? Was he trying to destroy a Jaeger ADS device or something along those lines? What is he going for? Yeah, he's really trying to destroy an ADS device, making it so that I believe the goal would be to have like a Zofia destroying the the castle barricade that you could expect to see right here, but it just so happens that there's no castle barricade there, and thus Aquatic is just aggressively peeking to protect his batteries, which, I mean, it works. So Telio was absolutely going against, I want to say, the default setup, but it just so turns out that Unique Esports were not playing the default setup, and that could be dangerous. Oh, it's been eaten up by an ADSQ device. I mean, Austin missing the first strafe here. Waze is still alive, and had the dig been cooked, it could have gotten the kill, but that is assuming that there's no ADS device, right? So right now, Waze is more or less isolated in a 1v2 situation. Oh, the pre-fire here, Austin getting a kill, and getting actually a double kill. Nicely done, leaving us with a 2v4 situation. Oh, Montang is right there, blocking the way. What did I say? 2v4? I mean 1v4. Madro now, Thermite being actually the support operator, the hard breacher technically. And therefore, he is pretty ill-equipped to be the point man. But when you're alone, you have no choice but to be point man, leaving us with Fawn winning round number 4. That was played by the proxy defense, right? They didn't have to actively anchor here. They could have just been as elusive or as prone to falling back like last round, but right here, unlike in the basement area, they just thought to themselves, okay, we can actually do this, and they never ever had to fall back. It worked flawlessly. I do want to say though that there's no way of sugarcoating this. Callie has made 1 or 2 mistakes, you know, in her plays. First of all, shooting the utility where you assume an ADS device is going to be. It is a mistake. You maybe should drone out a little bit before, because in practice, okay, granted, he missed the first shot, but the second was still tossed at basically nothing, making it so that Telio just wasted both of his gadgets, right? That was number 1. Number 2, he was peeked by a bandit and didn't expect that. Once again, droning. And if you I want to say unfortunate deaths like that later, you are seeing a 2v4 situation, which once again the astronauts were not able to recover from. So after having won the primary, secondary, and tertiary bomb site, what are we going to do? We are going to go back in bomb site number 1, which is going to be CCTV. And here we have seen this defense before, right? At this point, the attackers, the astronauts, might know what to expect, and we've seen before that they do know a few different ways of attacking this bomb site, so presumably they might be looking at, at patching the holes in their previous push and to try to not repeat the same mistakes as last time. Though it works both ways, right? Unique Esports also learned from their opponents. That Nitro Cell is clearly aimed at baiting Montaigne into jumping above that deployable shield, or jumping over the deployable shield, should I say? But both teams, like I said, are adapting. Montaigne is not, or at the very least does not look like he's going to be pushing into the garage area. So, Telio right here, logistic office, what are you going to do? He seems to be intent on droning. There is a defender right here. Apostle is going to be receiving pressure. He will turn around and he will get the kill on Telio. What was that sledge? You had every single advantage in the world and you did not manage to get the kill here. That was unfortunate. And oh no, he's just gonna reinforce and he's gonna get another kill. Wow! And that was Fawn getting the frag. Is he gonna reinforce for real this time? Yeah, he is gonna reinforce for real. The disrespect! I wanna say the disrespect, but at the end of the day, it works. So can I really complain? Gently, however, has been able to insert himself, getting a kill, inviting Madro to get in with him. Oh, but no. But no, he was not ready for the smoke push. And that is gonna be a triple kill from Madro. He cannot get the ace, unfortunately. Well, it was Gently who got the first kill, but still, a triple is massive. Austin seems to be rotating from outside. He is going to be tagged. He's going to be expected. Madro still trying to plant the launch box down. He is being permapinged, though, so the kill through the floor is going to be trivial at best, allowing Austin to win yet another round. So the Valkyrie camera that has been, that stayed hidden till the very end, that was interesting. So there you go. We are going to be seeing, once again, that astronauts made a few mistakes. Apostle, how would you get this double kill? I mean, The first time, you were surprised. The second time, you were actively reinforcing a wall, Montaigne pushes you, and you still get the kill. Though, looking at the replay, it doesn't look like Montaigne actually was aiming down sights. I believe Ryu was just got shot like at the edge of his ear or something like that, because the shield looks like it should have blocked the bullet there. So I don't know if this kill is exactly, I don't want to say bogus, but that kill was somewhat iffy, from what I could see at the very least. But at the end of the day, I want to say flaws in the game work both ways, right? A glitch or a bug, as long as it's not being used intentionally, can affect both teams equally. So that, all I have to say regarding this situation is it do be like that sometimes. Fawn once again preparing a blue hole with 2 ADS devices. We have seen a huge portion of the wall being open right here, so I was wondering if they were going to leave it, not reinforced. Doesn't seem to be the case. So there's still opening at the top of the wall that can allow for, an extra cell to be tossed out. And there's going to be one of the evil black eye cameras, rather. Waze himself is going to be spawning here by the warehouse area. Kennels, actually. And the interesting thing is, he's going to be playing Blackbeard. I have to wonder why he chose that operator, though. Because the thing is, Blackbeard, he is at his strongest when you can only see his head, right? And the ideal position would be when you're rappelling up a window. But rappelling up is not exactly easy when the OBJ is downstairs. So did Dead Astronauts misjudge where the diffuser or where the bomb site was going to be? Or that angle was basically the only one that Blackbeard can effectively hold down there. But yeah, so I'm still a bit confused as to why you want to play Blackbeard, but there you go. Things are what they are. And Austin would be the rumor that's been spotted out. Montaigne is going to be pushing in, and he knows exactly that he's in a firefight he cannot win. So there you go, jumping down, just abandoning ship, and it seems to be working again since Love seems to have gotten a first kill on Gently. The two might not seem connected or might not seem linked together somehow, but the thing is, probably, and I know just mean probably because we cannot hear, the players' comms. I can only assume that the attackers thought to themselves, okay, we got this in the bag, Vigil is as good as toast, and Gently interpreted this or took it as, a go-ahead or as a green light to actually push into OBJ. Ryu is going to be in a tough situation now. He has 2 goo mines on his foot, has to, fall back pretty aggressively to be able to pull it out safely, and that is going to leave him not exactly exposed, but it allowed for him to take, 2 bursts worth of damage. Nothing too serious, but, should it be a recurring situation, then, the damage might stack up. Waze seems to be intent on walking down the blue area. After all, Montaigne is here, so it would be a coordinated push. And he's gonna get a nice kill here. Good job. But still, you do have Fawn, who is not gonna give up so easily. He knows there's not too much he can do about Montaigne, and he knows, just when to fall back. Leaving us with next love, the smoke, with 37 seconds on the clock. Smoke seems to be the best weapon the defenders have against Montaigne at this point. Apostle also has his C4 remaining, so there's also that. But for the time being, your Smoke is going to be holding the blue area. Oh, and he is... Oh, I really did expect him to get a kill there, because he was holding the angle, but apparently the attackers were ready for him, leaving us with a 2v2 situation as Apostle got a kill on Ryu at the very same time. Diffuser being planted. Can you toss out the nitro cell? No, it's been used before. He sees the lunchbox. He is going to go for the kill on Blackbeard, who is going to eat up the damage due to his shield. But Fawn getting the double kill is going to allow Unique Esports to win and get another round. Except if he stays stuck into drywall for too long, but that, of course, was not going to happen. Dead Astronauts are not looking too good right... What are you doing? Are they No, it's team killing. Team killing. Come on, Fawn. You can do better than this. But there you go. Okay, even though it is going to take a bit more time than initially expected, Unique Esports are still going to win this round, leaving us with a 5-1 situation for the role swap. This is a huge lead that the blue team have right now, and as soon as they start defending, that being basically right now, they are going to be seeing the easier side of that map. No, right, they had the easy side. My brain is toast. No, I am how dumb can I be? Okay. They did have the easier side all the way around, right? So in theory, that might partially explain as to why they did have, you know, the most amount of points compared to their opponents. But the thing is, two teams of equal skill, I would say, would tend to have a 4-2 split right at the roll swap. And that 5-2 split is not happening right now. So even though they had the easier side, they still proved, or they still shown so far at the very least, to be the better team. They don't yet have 7 points, so you know that Astronauts can still come back from that. But with every round the orange team gains, things are looking less and less likely. Dead Astronauts are going to do basically what I alluded to at the very beginning. They're not going to go in the primary bomb site first, basically just to confuse or to throw off the attack. However, usually when you don't go CCTV, you're going to go in the basement area. That time, Dead Astronauts, they prefer to try to defend the bedroom, which is odd. We don't see this too often. It is a signature move from them for having casted them in the past, but right now they're playing in the league, so that signature move, assuming any member of any other team is here to scout both of these teams here that we're going to be seeing playing, that we can see played right now, they're going to know that the Astronauts tend to do this, so the advantage of surprise might not hold forever. But for the time being, oh yeah, it is Waze who is holding the angle right here. That wall would be extremely easy to breach, but apparently Unique Esports would rather not do that for some reason. And we can see Fawn droning out with the hologram, and he is all the way over here. There is going to be Telio with the castle in the lounge area. He was, you know, hanging out by bar. Oh, is it going to be... Oh, it is going to be a punch hole. Oh, if he holds that angle, he virtually has a guaranteed kill. But Fawn probably has heard the punch go out, so he's going to send the hologram first. Oh, no, and Telio's no longer holding the angle. I mean, it could be both a good and a bad thing, because if Telio was to rotate to not be spotted behind the punch hole, I mean, it could have been something. And Fawn is not going to see too much here. Once again, Telio has made some noise in the garage door here, so I was surprised that the drone or that the hologram didn't go in that way. But one thing is for sure, with 135 seconds remaining on the clock, no kill has been you know, gained so far, or no, everybody is still in the game, making it so that the attackers are still pretty early into their, you know, attacking steps, if I can put it that way. And therefore, it would seem somewhat likely that we're going to be seeing this at the this round rather, go until the very last seconds that the clock is going to allow for. But until then, we are going to be seeing a 4v5 situation. Madra has a nice angle on that window, so entering or vaulting through that window would be suicide. And Unique Esports seem to know that, right? They're not going to be playing into their opponents' hands. Aquatic is basically ready to push in, but the pre-fire is going to reveal his position, and he's going to be toast. Unfortunately for him, Gently was able to react quickly enough. He seems to know that this is going to breach, and therefore Ryu is positioning himself to counter any potential drops. Is Austin is out of drones, so he cannot, you know in advance if somebody's going to be there. That is not going to blow up an impact, but he did not toss that concussion nade at the right angle. Ryu, that's going to get a fairly easy kill. The remainder of the pressure seems to be coming from the central stairs, and since there's a castle barricade right here, Ryu is not going to be too much of a danger. And oh no, Madro was looking the wrong way, making it so that in theory the attackers now have control of bomb site. Unique Esports seem to be planting. Just seem they are planting. Waze has to get back on side. Gently is going to get fragged. He is holding the angle, but oh no, somebody was watching. Ryu now has to rotate in an extremely predictable manner. He sees the tip of the gun, but I don't think he realizes this is a barrel he's looking at. Oh, I didn't even see the silhouette right there. Double kill for Ryu, nicely done. Oh, and almost a triple. I believe he's hit Hibana once or twice, but at the end of the day, Love is going to get the final kill. And I do have to ask, because I don't want to, you know, make the same mistake for too long, or I don't want to, I want to say humiliate myself too often. NXT LXVE, Next Love, or how do you pronounce that gamer tag? Because the X's can sometimes be a replacement for an O, for an E, for an A, And you know, the word love is fairly easy to reverse engineer, but why an X? Why no love, maybe? Why no love? So yeah, just how do you pronounce that gamer tag? Because I want to do things right, you know? I want to do things right. And yeah, Die by the Blaster saying, let's go UE. Things are looking extremely good for them. They are now leading 6-1. Dead Astronauts, backs against the wall, have to win 5 rounds in a row. They want to bring this into overtime. And even if we were to bring this in overtime, things would not be guaranteed. You know, it doesn't mean that overtime doesn't equate blue team victory. It just means that they have to, that Vendetta Esports still have a shot at stopping the hypothetical comeback. But in the meantime, or up until that hypothetical overtime situation happens, we're going to be seeing a basement defense. Once again, Dead Astronauts, to some extent, doing the unexpected thing. I'm not even going to talk about bar, right? So, assuming you just lost in bedroom, you want to go there again, you would suppose that Astronauts will defend the primary bomb site, i.e. The CCTV area, and yet we are going to be seeing the bombs themselves being put in the basement floor at the feet of the staircases. Can you say that? At the bottom of the staircase, I think, would be the English, say, grammar there. Ryu, ready to create a rotation hole, which currently 4 defenders are on OBJ. Who's the last one? That is going to be gently is going to be your resident roamer. And nobody seems to be looking for him actively on the Unique Esports team. And that is quite interesting, or that would be a difference between... Well, he is going to be receiving pressure from Austin eventually, I believe. But the thing is, it is going to be different between the two teams, right? Remember when the Astronauts were attacking? They were, not always, but quite often, inserting themselves at the top floor and running down. So basically, you know, insert into the top floor, join it out, clear out the roamers, then go down on the first floor, and then go down to the basement. And Gently definitely has not been droned out. If not, Austin would not be that... I mean... What he's doing is very dangerous. He doesn't realize that there's an active danger, and he's just moving around, not watches his angles, not holding, and you know, not peeking in a very sloppy way. If he was to be expecting any kind of firefight to be happening, and that's the thing, he doesn't expect that to be the case. So yeah, Aquatic base. Oh, he's gonna spot off the camera. This is why he and his teammates died, and he is also gonna be too little, too late, leaving us with a 2v5 situation. So, like I said, the Astronauts, they are not yet out of the woods, but they haven't already lost the game. The comeback situation, however unlikely it is, since they still do have to win 5 rounds in a row, well, the very first round of that of said comeback seems to be ever likelier. However, just like the others picked in a sloppy way, Gently here, he wasn't too ready. Gets the first kill, but will be refragged in short order. Austin dropping down without the diffuser, making it so that he can't really plant. He has to play for kills. He's inflicting ways some damage, but he's taking some in return as well. And that rate at which he kills teammates versus the rate enemies rather versus the rate at which he receives damage is not sustainable. God damn it! And therefore, Dead Astronauts are going to win round number... That was round number 8. Points are now 2-6. 2-6 is still a heavy disadvantage, but, I mean, comebacks, even though they're rare, you know, when the underdog ends up happening, this is what we like to see, right? So I'm just going really quickly to answer to a Discord message. Current game right now. Started at 8 p.m. Will be played directly after.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
62 is the score line. All right.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
So if I was to read the chat, let's go UE. UE hype, UE hype. Hibana is Bay. Blasky the best. Blasky. Okay, Blasky is not somebody in this game. I was wondering if I was reading another gamer tag horribly wrong, like I've done in the past. Once again, sorry to a certain Jarvis, who whose name I've just totally butchered. And Austin and Apostle are the babes. Oh, it's Austin and Apostle. I see.
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
Oh, Madro, did you really? Wait, what? Madro. I saw that. That is extremely unfortunate. I mean, I do believe the support beams have been destroyed, so they just have to knife a big circle. But I mean, this is going to be extremely time-consuming, and Unique Esports are not going to be waiting for that. Yeah, this is just a game's bug. But what I wanted to say is, being in a position where you have to use a nitro cell in the first place is really unfortunate, right? Like, there's no shotgun, nor is there any impact nades in the defender's composition, and a nitro cell is an invaluable piece of utility which they used in an improper way. Oh no, Aquatic thought he had spotted out or droned out a weakness in the attacker and the defender's defense, but it doesn't happen to be the case. How has this been destroyed? There's no Thatcher, there's no IQ. Has Zofia reached the ceiling with an impact grenade? Seems to be the case since she's out one impact nade. But the floor here doesn't seem to be, you know, blown to bits and pieces, so I couldn't tell you exactly what happened. But Austin, oh yeah, it exploded, just not on both sides, apparently. And Madro is going to be pushed back, and he knows it's going to be extremely dangerous for him to try. He might even have gotten it down, but oh no, he's going to cancel at the very last second. Still, 2v5 situation. Things are once again not looking too good for Unique Esports. Still, Apostle and Fond are... Well, I was gonna say up to full health, but there's only Fawn remaining. And as far as a 1v4 situation goes, I do believe that Yana, like he's playing right now, is one of the best the best operators you can have, right? Grenades are gonna be really good when it comes to getting you know, the kills. Number one. Number two, that hologram is a basically infinite amount of drones, or an infinite supply of drones, though you're limited by the time and everything. In theory, given enough time, you can drone out every single nook and cranny of the map. Fawn now, however, has used his 2 grenades to just attempt to use, you know, on the verticality, but without any intel. He tossed them basically nowhere, or in the middle of nowhere. And the feed right there, Ryu is going to get shot at. Fawn, did you even know there was somebody there, or was it just, you know, a reflex shot? Either way, he was finding himself in a 1v4 situation, or in a 1v5 situation, not a 1v3. It's still pretty intimidating. I mean, his chances are still slim at best, and he's lost over half his health in the meantime. But still, he is getting them down one after the other, and there you go. Dead Astronauts are finally going to close the deal, are finally going to get the kill on Fawn. Like I said, the comeback didn't seem too likely, because it was a 1-6 scoreline, but we are now seeing the 3-6 scoreline. So slowly but surely, it is happening. Oh no, have we played the entire round on replays? Have we played the entire round on replays? I am so sorry, guys. Oh no. Wait, have we? Let me check. Oh my god. Oh gosh. Oh no. Yeah. The replays. Oh no.
Attackers need to locate
Oh gosh.
as many bombs as they can.
That is so unfortunate. That is this, and this is where my brain just ends up frying. God damn it. God fucking damn it. I can always try to add that round in post-production to put it in post-production, and it would actually be quite doable. And then saying it's quite okay, technology happens sometimes. You know, the thing is, it's just I forgot to press a button. It's so unfortunate.
5 seconds left.
For real. I mean, I will have to get a dev to code a plugin for OBS, because what I'm doing right here is I have, you know, a playlist which is gonna loop, and at the end of the first loop I just manually switch back to the previous scene, being, you know, the gameplay scene. But you know, the thing of once every single video in the playlist has been played, just switch back to the previous scene should be easy enough to program, assuming you know coding and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try to find somebody to do that, and if I do, that's gonna be cool.
Attackers have
But until then, once again, I'm so sorry. So spoiler alert, Dead Astronauts were able to win. And for the 10th round, they're still backs against the wall, right? And another, say, unfortunate piece of bad news for them is you've won on your primary and secondary bomb site. What is left? The tertiary one. Tertiary, which is going to be obviously harder to defend compared to the previous ones. Therefore, what can I say except good luck? Gently also, I tried to run out at the beginning of the round, and he's been cut down pretty early on, so he didn't do too much. However, you're gonna have Telio, who can, you know, bring it back for his team. He's gonna get a kill on next love, or no love, rather, on no love. And that was Hibana. Not every hard breaching capability for the defenders has been taken off the board, and Apostle is going to breach their reinforced wall, but it was some hard breaching capabilities being taken away. And if I was to actually ask what is going to be, or, you know, where Hibana could have been used if it wasn't for that, you know, exterior wall, and to be honest, either by the cash room area, right here where Ryu is sitting, or basically nothing at all. Because there's no real way into, or no real reason to reach, say, that wall right here. And Hibana apparently was able to, you know, fire off one, you know, a burst of X-Kairos before she actually died, and he's going to peek his... he was aiming directly at the head, but Austin was quicker on the draw. There you go. Now a 2v3 situation. Unique Esports are in a good position to take control of bomb site. Actually, they kind of have control, even though they're not physically on site. And, you know, the plant is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. So, Waze is now in an extremely difficult situation. His movements are going to be so predictable. There's no rotation to the office area, so he can either run through the doorway, which once again is going to be extremely predictable, or run down and then come back up the stairs. This leaves us with only 2 angles to watch for Unique Esports, and as such, Aquatic is going to get the final kill, and he's going to win this for his team. So this is going to be Unique Esports winning their second map of the week. Well, their second map so far, and they are going to have so far a perfect track record. So GG's to you for that. GG's to you on that front. We can see that Austin and Fond were the top fraggers, 12 and 10 kills respectively. And I do want to say, considering they only won 3 rounds, 8, 9, and 7, 6 kills is actually pretty good, right? Nobody was a total, I want to say...
GG's, good game.
GG.
GG's, guys. Let me just get the replays on screen. God damn, with the GG's. No, still, GG's is a nice show of sportsmanship. But what I wanted to say was, considering that they only won 3 rounds, this many kills is surprising for Dead Astronauts. Admittedly, I mean, both teams killed each other till the very last battle. I mean, we've seen a few 1v1 situations, so the team that ends up winning the round isn't gonna have, you know, too many more kills compared to their opponents, and that's kind of the thing, right? We have rarely, if ever, seen the diffuser be planted. I don't want to say ever. We've seen the diffuser be planted a handful of times, but it's never been ninja diffused, right? Or it's never been ninja planted and run down the timer, meaning that at every single round, you know, no enemies were remaining, no matter who won the round. And I think that is why the Dead Astronauts team was able to win out so many rounds. But the greater point is, they weren't totally defenseless. Many rounds came down to the wire. Dead Astronauts just so happened to be losing them, but many rounds were pretty close. So this was it for our first match of tonight. Unique Esports once again GG's to you guys. Let's just take a look real quick. We're gonna have another match starting extremely quickly. I have to schedule the next match and keep on casting. I'm being overwhelmed right here. Have you done the map ban yet? Map ban yet? also, on another note, or on a similar or parallel note, Mapman, they have announced today that they have new features coming. I just cross-read the post, so they have announced exactly what is coming. I didn't read that in depth into it, but yay, new Mapman features. Yeah, right. Just before we jump into the next map, I do want to check one thing out. So we had just have seen Dead Astronauts play against Unique Esports. You have not entered the scores. Let me just give you a slap on the wrist, because then I'm gonna have to do this, and I am prone to making mistakes because I have so many things to take care of at once. It was a 7-3, right? Yeah, it was. All right. And now that the scores have been entered, if we were to look at the standings, we can see that Hostile Actions and Unique Esports have both won their 2 games this week, leaving them tied for first place. Then you have OnlyFans and Dead Astronauts, who both have 1 victory so far. Dead Astronauts number 1, the first roster, so they've won a game and they lost the other one. OnlyFans, they've only played 1 of their games so far, so of course not every point they can get they haven't had a chance to gain 2 victories so far. Mishmash Gaming suffering 2 defeats, so that's going to put them, unfortunately, at the end of the leaderboard. And then you have Arson, Phoenix, and Dead Astronauts with a defeat so far, but they've only played 1 map so far as well. So take that with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's prepare the map ban for our next contestants. So there's going to be... Oh, God damn it, I didn't want to hit whichever keyboard shortcut I've just hit right here. And let's just prepare that. And the cat just jumped on the desk. There you go. You can see that Taylor here. Okay. Yeah, map ban has been sent to the players. Let's do this. And during that time, allow me to hit the save button to reset that. Thank you. And what I actually wanted to do was to update the names in the other UI we've just left, because Unique Esports are no longer playing. It is actually going to be Arson Esports. This has been updated. There you go. Let's just hit save, and Arson Esports will be banning Theme Park. On another note, this notebook is officially full. I'm just going to grab a page that's been only sparsely written on. And yeah, so whenever I fill in a caster notebook, whenever one of my notebooks is completely filled up, it does feel like it's like a milestone, because, I mean, however many pages are in there, I've casted this many games. So there's that. There's that. Telio. There you go, Telio. You can start banning whenever you are ready. Let me just upload or type in the team name for them, making it easier for them to start banning whenever they are ready. Yeah, so the banning phase should start soon. By the way, Izzy is there, but the Twitch app wasn't working, so she's using Chrome. Therefore, she isn't signed in and can't talk. Oh, I see. Okay, so hey, Izzy, how you doing? Even though I don't expect an answer. So here that would be interesting, because Dead Astronauts are as warmed up as can be, right? They just come off of a game, whereas Arson Esports, I don't know if they've just played, if they've just been playing, how active they've been prior to this match. But it can really go both ways also. I mean, Dead Astronauts, if they've had a rough day, if they have had a short night of sleep, they could already start to feel the effects of fatigue. Even though we're not playing a best of 3 or even a best of 5, it would still theoretically be possible that they are feeling these kinds of effects. So, by having the Astronauts having played the game so far, it can still go both ways. But one thing is for sure, they're not going to start on an equal playing field or on an equal footing with Arson Esports. But will they be, more ready or more alert? Once again, because they've had the time to warm up, or will they be less ready and less aware because they've had time to fatigue? That yet remains to be seen. One thing's for sure, we're either going to be playing once again Clubhouse or Villa. And right here, that'll be interesting to see because Clubhouse, it's basically the same point I've just made regarding the general situation that can be had for the map itself. Clubhouse, they've just played, they know how to do it or how or what not to do. I mean, if they had any flaws in their holding their defense, they've just seen them, right? So they are going to know what to do and to adapt or to, play accordingly. And or Arsenal Esports, they may also have been scouting them out, right? The astronauts are going to be starting on offense, so they're going to be playing blue team. So if Arsenal were to have just, looked at the stream, they are going to know, for example, that astronauts tend to go in the bedroom area by their first defense, that kind of stuff. Could come to bite them in the butt. Create a spectator, please. But without further ado, let's try to invite the players. For Arsenal Esports, what were the gamer tags? Let me just find them real quick. We're going to be playing this match tonight. Arsenal Esports, headache. That Boydo. That Boydo is the gamer tag or the member of the team that I have in my friends lists. There you go. In Arsenal Esports, they are beginning on defense, right? So Arsenal are gonna grab the orange team. I'm not even gonna have to switch the overlay. Wow, that is, I mean, I know my chances are 50-50, but it does feel like I'm having bad luck more often than not. Arsenal Esports with an S. Some teams will be esports singular, some teams will be esports plural. DEAD.
What is that, man?
Dead astronauts. And then Das Tilio is the team captain. There you go. So yeah, we are going to be starting the game as shortly as possible. The teams are already starting to log in and to connect. Of course, right? The wait a minute. Arsenal Esports, they are going to be defending, so they would be better off grabbing the blue team, or the orange team. It might be a bit small, especially if you're playing on, or if you're watching on a mobile device such as a phone, but the Arsenal Esports guys, they are taking the blue team, which I would recommend they not do. I mean, I can still switch it in the game settings, but it would preferably not be the case. Also, let me just take that, 5 minutes that we're gonna have for the players to all join in to make a small, teeny little self-promo, shameless plug type of announcements. So, as you know, I'm organizing this league, but I'm also organizing Go For Like weekly tournaments. So if you want to play for a few rounds in a row this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, of course, you can just type in the chat !DAL, !DAL, and the bot is going to answer with the link for this Saturday's games or this Saturday's tournament. So these would be a bit more, I want to say, laid back and chill comps, since there is unfortunately no. Can I get a link from Moss? Hey guys.
Hey. Bon, en espérant que cette fois-là, on va mieux jouer.
Snow.eu. Let me just get the link. Just give me a second. The players are asking me questions, and I have to respond to that. Chrome is going to detect false positive, and will tell you there are viruses on that web page. You can safely ignore the warnings. Okay, so I'm organizing weekly tournaments. just like the Go 4 used to do. And as far as I know, what's their face? Face it, they haven't actually started doing any Go 4 like tournaments. I mean, not weekly tournaments at the very least. And yeah, so since there's no cash prize, last season I had one, but then I launched this project right here that we're going to be seeing tonight. This makes it so that there's no real incentive to try too hard. So the players, what they end up doing in practice is they're going to be just chilling out and playing competitively, but without sweating profusely, if that makes any sense. So a chill, laid back yet competitive, fun experience. If that sounds fun, don't feel shy. Or don't hesitate about typing DAL in chat, exclamation mark DAL, and the bot is going to respond with an invite link to our tournaments. But with that being said, the players are going to be basically ready to join in. Let me just, you know what, downloading Moss is a pain, so let me just send it to you directly from my computer. Might even be easier. I think it is going to be in the downloads folder, which will make sense. I have like just about every single team logo there is. And then I have, yeah, I just saw it, but it lagged for half a second. Can I have Moss extracted? Ray, non, ça c'est pas ma soeur, ça c'est ma blonde. Yes, just to translate, somebody was asking, is that your sister behind you? No, that's not my sister, that's the girlfriend who thinks I'm spending way too much time streaming and way not enough time giving her attention. Let me just get Moss. God damn it, Moss, come on. Why are you lagging this way? Just put it in full screen, it's gonna be easier. Moss, there you go. And that folder is empty, fun times. How have I extracted it like directly? I don't even know where it is now. And I have way too many installers all about. Ah, there you go. Okay, Moss exe application. Thank you. That should make things a bit easier. Okay. And so, yeah, we have 9 out of the 10 players in. So things should be starting pretty quickly now. Once again, we have just played this map before, so Dead Astronauts, they most definitely know what's going on, or how to play this map. Whereas Arsenal Esports, Gentleman's Game, No Yinger Blitz. Oh, the players. Vizcanio seems to be on a crusade to get rid of Blitz or Ying.
Gentleman for the echo because the glitch.
Oh yeah, what about the echo? Yeah, we're cool with that, right?
Yes, we are gentlemen for the echo.
Yeah, perfect.
But Blitz, Ying, or Lion, the cat, we can play it if you want. Okay.
Alright, so no traps. We're not planting. Just go for frags.
Open.
Yikes.
I mean, you guys do you do what you want.
Easy, boys.
Let's go ahead and seek.
Only random pick.
Just 1 minute, Hans, tell you, il est pas là encore.
Alright, no worries. So yeah, I know that astronauts are not yet ready to start.
We all have our bolo charms over here, so beware.
Sounds good. Let me just take this, use this time that we have to remind you guys that Moss is mandatory. Headache just asked about Moss, so I'm assuming you guys know about it, but I just want to remind you, should anybody had forgotten about that. And in the meantime, are you guys ready to start? I know Dead Astronauts are not, but Arsenal Esports, are you guys ready?
I think we're good. I think everyone's perfectly set up.
Yeah.
You're ready.
Sounds good.
Team ready.
Alright, Dead Astronauts are ready as well. So, good luck, have fun, and may the best team win.
Good luck, have fun, guys.
Who are you guys rooting for? Spam the chat with the team name that you're rooting for, and just drowning out the players shouting the other team's name. Also, let me just reset the bans because we're starting over. And let's see who they're gonna ban. Of course, we've just seen a map played or a game played on this map. So Thatcher. I mean, if If Arsenal were to watch the previous stream, they likely would know that the astronauts tend to play Montaigne, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a target ban on Montaigne, but it's not going to be the case. Maverick is instead going to go the way of the dinosaurs. So he's going to be taken off the, taken out of the picture for the entire game. That is going to be quite interesting, because if Dead Astronauts were to ban Thatcher now, hard breaching would be extremely difficult. With no Thatcher and no Maverick who doesn't care about jamming or electricity, that would be difficult. And they are going to ban Thatcher. So, what else are we going to see? On the defense bans, I mean, Echo, Maestro, they said they're not going to play Echo, so I wouldn't expect an Echo ban. So Maestro and Mira would be your go-to bans for the defense. Mira will be taken off the board. And who will Arsenal ban? Because if they don't ban, for example, Maestro, that might even imply that they plan on playing him. And this could be interesting to some extent. It remains to be seen. Arsenal Esports, they'll be banning Cade. Or Cade, rather. Cade is an interesting ban. That implies that they want to have an easier time attacking the hatches. I mean, both Maverick and Thatcher being banned. Well, Hibana is still going to be able to breach, the Moto hatch, for example. So it does make sense. It does checks out. But the thing is, they banned Cade, but they are also starting on defense. So that was a very strong defense ban, but it's going to put them on the back foot for the first half of the game. So we're going to have to keep this in mind. But until then, we're going to be seeing the beginning of the game. First defense is going to go Church and Arsenal. And, for example, Atomic saying, Hans, notice me, senpai. Atomic, Atlas, you have been noticed. Yeah, for real. I mentioned this at the beginning of last game. Once again, we just saw a match being played on this map. Unique Esports, they went CCTV first. And this is what you would be expecting, since CCTV is quote-unquote the stronger or the go-to primary bomb site. But at the same time, it makes you quite, predictable. So going on the secondary bomb side to have an unpredictable gameplay is something that a lot of teams are going to do. And since the secondary bomb site here is a very close second, I mean, the basement area is virtually as easy to defend as the top floor. It's not too surprising for this map in particular to see this kind of bluff or this kind of disinformation campaign be played by the defense, and that's exactly what we are going to be seeing happen right here. Dead Astronauts were, I don't want to say probably expecting a top push, but they definitely do have a top push composition, they're definitely fielding a top push composition. So they're going to have to adapt to some extent. And this is going to be more or less apparent since they all spawned on the west side. West, which doesn't have too many good insertion points for the basement itself, right? The idea being if you were to attack the top floor, you can insert yourself by the bedroom area, and therefore you're pretty likely to be facing no roamers as far as the inertial insertion in the building goes, which we're going to be seeing right now. We can once again notice how the attackers are running out the top floor entirely to make sure that there's going to be no roamer, but that is going to be everybody except Gently, who will be playing in that anti-roaming role. And by the way, the guys at the top floor, they're chasing ghosts. As soon as they realize that, they're going to be coming down here and helping Gently. But for the time being, he was extremely quick into, he's already in moto without without breaching the hatch. That is something. Holding the angle, they were not expecting that. First blood for Dead Astronauts. He has to move. His position is going to be compromised and all that good stuff. But Gently also does know that he's in a 1v4 situation, and he cannot really just rush and heads first on his own. So he's going to be holding, tiny angles and hoping for the best. Donovic holding the angle, not really finding anything. Oh, and he's going to get the kill just as I believe it was, yeah, exactly, an air jab being tossed out. So Nomad exposing herself for an air jab that was caught by a magnet, and Nomad is going to take a few nasty bullets to the face. That's a trade that is going to be worthwhile for the defense, but that boy though getting a nice kill, and he will be extremely well equipped to get the kill on Montaigne. But he's looking the wrong way to do so, unfortunately. Plus, there's nobody moto. The defenders seem to be a bit confused, because as you can see, all three of the attackers are right here. All the Madra seems to be rotating. Gently really did understand how what's going on. Like, washroom room is totally open, and Madra is going to be making good use of that. He is going to be planting. Donovic right here is in a tough spot. There's no way for him to kill Montaigne except if he deploys, or except as long as he stays deployed, right? And on close quarter, that's your best chance, but then he's just gonna knife you. Donovic, by the way, last operator alive. 1 situation. Oh, he got the double kill. I didn't notice that. And Diffuser has not been planted. That's also something that could have been extremely powerful for dead astronauts. But now, Gently being the last operator alive, I mean, he can still try to plant, but that would be a suicide mission, right? He's most likely just using this as bait more than anything else. Because, you know, the butt, of course, is going to be peeking out. And there you go, Donovic, to put it that way, just has created 1 or 2 new buttholes for IQ. Okay, that was graphic, but there you go. This is gonna be a first round 1 for the defense, and it was an odd round, if I can put it that way, because what was that except dumb luck that, you know, a part of IQ was poking out. Gently made a tactical mistake by attempting the plant, granted, but that's about it. Right, if he was in the face-to-face firefight, it could have gone both ways. But other than that, I don't think the attackers have made too many mistakes. I mean, it just comes down to firefights, right? For example, here, Telio is going to improve, you know, his reaction times, his aim, all that good stuff. But this is not the kind of stuff that you can actively blame a player for. Right? His gun skills or his mechanical skills are going to evolve. But it's not like a good or a poor decision that's led to him winning or losing the firefight. So there you go. There's that. Round number 2 is, of course, going to be played at the top floor. And Dead Astronauts seem to be evoking the caster's curse. Wait, Telio just messaged me on Discord. Is it normal? They have 90 milliseconds of ping. So far, the ping doesn't seem to be hovering around 90. Oh yeah, Telio has. Oh yeah, he just spiked at 90. But yeah, yeah. The server is. It's not something is played. Yeah, the server is CUS. Gordon saying ton anglais est très solide. Je savais pas que tu étais bilingue. Je suis pas mauvais. Mon accent m'énerve, mais je sais que c'est pas très notable. Oh no, that just destroyed a drone, unfortunate. So this is exactly what I was talking about, right? That astronauts, they do have the habit of inserting themselves in the GM side of things, of the map, to not be facing too many roamers and then have a solid foothold on the building itself before they actively find themselves in a firefight. That boy has unfortunately been wallbanged by, I think it was Waze, who is just gonna, oh no, it was in a flank. He just got shot through the doorway. And now Waze is gonna be keeping the pressure up. This time, however, he's pushing into cash room. And just like last time, this is exactly what I'm talking about. They are making extremely good time. You know, you flush out the one unsuspecting roamer, and now you are already knocking at the OBJ's wall. That wall being, or knocking at the door, rather. Sorry about that. The other wall being breached right here is going to put Vizcanio in an extremely precarious position, right? He cannot afford to just start using the Evil cameras. But the Evil cameras are an extremely strong piece of utility, and there you go. He's going to be peeked, or he's going to be killed through the narrow gap between the bomb and the desk. Solid skills, solid shots right here. Donovic is now down, and he will be put down for good, leaving us with a 2v5 situation. Headache kind of being pushed back. Heavy pre-fires. He is going to know exactly where his opponent is going to be. Oh no, reloading just as he gets peeked, and he was the last upper alive. Dimra has been fragged by Telio at the very same time. This is going to lead to a flawless round. So the Dead Astronauts team did not lose a single player while executing this push, and therefore the score lines, the score line, singular, is now back up to a 1-1 situation. Both teams are once again tied. And both teams show us that they are capable of winning their rounds in a nice fashion. last round that Arsenal won, you could argue has been won due to a mistake of Dead Astronauts, and Dead Astronauts definitely didn't make a mistake that time. But still, I wouldn't count Arsenal Esports out just because of that. They can still show us some skill. They can still, you know, just be in a warm-up phase. And well, last round, even though they did capitalize on Bentley's error, well, they still won up the round. At the end of the day, isn't it all that matters? Atomic Atlas saying Unique won't lose a round against Arsenal. So you know what the, I don't want to say funny thing is, but the interesting thing is, so you did have the same team manager or team captain. I'm not exactly sure what role Easy was having. Easy couldn't have been, you know, a player for both teams, but other than that, it was, you know, Easy was kind of working with both teams, and that's kind of the interesting thing, because then I don't want to say it's a conflict of interest, but these two teams definitely know each other better than, you know, any other two teams. Except maybe for the two Dead Astronauts rosters. Like, as you know, Dead Astronauts, or as you may know rather, they do have two rosters, and both rosters are registered to this for this competition. And the funny thing is, Arsenal Esports, they're playing both rosters this week. I believe they won against the first roster, this right here being the second one. So there's that. And also another addition here is going to be Clash going up against Montaigne. So this is going to be the shield. They're saying yes. I don't believe, however, that your entire shield is going to move up and down when you look up and down to do the yes or the no motion. So Ryu can really only say no, and so can Discania. Well, one thing is for sure, however, that Clash presence is going to kind of make it so that Ryu is no longer too motivated to push up the garage catwalk. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see him rotating. And just as I say this, he is pulling back, but is he just baiting it out? It does seem to be the case. And oh no, Clash has seen him. He try as he may, he's not gonna get the kill by doing so. But Waze on his side is able to get something done. Plus that boy who just had to drop down the hatch, leaving us with Vizcanio on the garage catwalk once more. He can fairly easily, you know, just peek left and be back on OBJ. But still, the defenders' hold on the bomb sites themselves are small at best. Thanks to the natural cells through the floor, they can still deny a plant of the diffuser, but you can hardly argue that Arsenal Esports still actually hold the OBJ. And that is going to be a few shots fired. Nothing is going to connect, however. The roamers are, you know, the two defenders that were the first floor are now back upstairs, and he is likely to get knifed here. He's out of a nitro cell, unfortunately, so he cannot use, you know, the explosive capabilities to deny, and that is ways down. Nicely done. Madro now. Last real threat up. You know, Ryu is going to be really, really passive here. And he's going to get shot by that boy. But Ryu, even though he's rarely, if at all, going to use the pistol, he still has a knife. And actually, we've seen this last game, right? He is much more deadly with a knife than with the pistol itself. On m'a dit bien l'accent un peu prononcé, vraiment pas dérangé comparativement à plusieurs Québécois. Je te dirais une chose, Gordon. J'ai déjà travaillé dans un milieu anglophone. En fait, j'ai déjà travaillé en information touristique. Puis, la majorité des touristes, s'ils sont pas américains, ben, tu sais, je sais pas, des Allemands, des Espagnols, ils vont parler en anglais. Puis, il y a deux Américains qui m'ont dit que je pourrais être genre leur voisin chez eux, puis ils n'entendent absolument aucun accent. Mais ça vient seulement quand je travaille, tu sais, quand je faisais du 8 à 4 pendant l'été, il y a 2 ans. Pendant l'été, il y a 2 ans, tu sais, je parlais en anglais de 8 à 4. La formation touristique, ils sont en fil, puis ils veulent juste te parler, là. Fait que, je faisais juste parler, puis c'est ça qui m'a vraiment aidé à travailler l'accent. Mais évidemment, pour que j'aille à nouveau un accent, on va dire, parfait, là, il faudrait que je retourne travailler dans un milieu, ou vivre dans un milieu anglophone, ce qui, dans un futur approché, n'arrivera pas. Fait que, ce qu'on a pour l'instant, je pense que ça va être difficile pour moi d'aller chercher mieux sans investir beaucoup d'efforts. So, kind of like I said 5 or 6 minutes ago, Arsenal Esports might have won their first round due to a stroke of luck, or rather because they capitalized on one of Dead Astronauts' mistakes. That doesn't mean that they can only win when Dead Astronauts done goofed up, right? Or when they done goofed, rather. Thing is, last round, they were ready to meet Dead Astronauts where they intended to push. For example, the Montaigne who wanted to walk up the catwalk, he has been shut down immediately by Clash's simple presence. Clash didn't even have to be too aggressive or too insistent. It just being there was enough, right? So this really does show that Arsenal Esports were ready. Let's see how, if at all, they're going to be ready this time, because they just won in the downstairs area, so presumably their defense does hold up. But also, you guys remember how Gently was able to aggressively insert himself and to get an early kill, an early pick on unsuspecting arsons. So there's that, and also the defense is no longer the same as last time. So you cannot just say same movements should in theory yield the same results, right? Dimmer here is in the garage. And he is obviously roaming, but he's not being pushed or not being peeked by any Dead Astronauts' players. They don't seem to want to, drop down by oil pits. They are just walking down the blue stairs as is. And it is Waze, right? Waze with the with the barbed wire has made enough noise for his position to be known right there. With the Guman in his foot, he was being expected, and there you go. Vizcaino getting a kill, not getting a double kill, rather being refragged immediately, and that is Gently actually gonna get the double kill. Headache is right here. Oh, he just barely doesn't see his opponent. That's unfortunate. Dimra will have to get back through blue, and he's on his track to do so. That boy, unfortunately, is already expending most of his toxic babes. Thing is, with 1 minute 30 remaining on the clock, with over half of the round remaining, being down to your last toxic babe, that is critical at the very least. He's trying to get the kill on Thermite here. That is just not going to work, and Ryu still has more than enough health to withstand these two impact nades. So things are not looking too good for the defense, to say the least. Especially since Gently's going to get the kill on that boy though, and oh no, you just ran straight to those bullets. Gently couldn't see him. He just blindly pre-fired, and it just worked. That is unfortunate. But there you go. Arsenal Esports now losing that round, and therefore the scores are remaining tied once again. Are we really just gonna see a back and forth like that for every round till an overtime situation? That would be interesting and really cool. Thing is, it's not as if a team was able to always win out on church and the other team was able to always win out on, say, CCTV. The defense has worked once and has failed once on both CCTV and church. Therefore, there's no single bomb site for which either team is the uncontested champion. What I'm saying here is the strategies are always evolving on both sides, and therefore the outcome is ever changing. This is really nice to see, because I could not for the life of me predict the outcome of the game. It can absolutely go either way, and I do believe that this is one of the types of games that we love to see, simply because having that kind of outcome makes it so that we are going to be kept on the edge of our seat till the very last second of every round. And that's just awesome. That's just nice. We are going to be seeing a Capcan. That is going to be a new addition to the game, or to that map in particular. And Capcan, what can I say about him? I don't know if I was to interpret this as a concession of defeat, but if Headache is thinking to himself, okay, I cannot get a kill for the life of me with my gun, let's try to, have a PC utility that will get the kills for me. Of course, right, there is no overpowered, trap operator in the game. Capcan might get a kill with his EDDs, but it's fairly unlikely. And Arsenal Esports, as a team, could have greatly benefited for example, say, a few bandit batteries right here. That could have been interesting. Jaeger ADSs, well, we have those. Mira has been banned, so let's just say Maestro, for example, or Valkyrie's Black Eyes, Thermite, So having Headache use the EDD device, and the EDD has been spotted by Ryu right here. He knows he cannot really peek, though he could. He has a shield, and that shield can eat up most of the blast. So for the time being, he's not going to push in, and his allies are going to die to those roamers. Vizcaino Did he get the double kill here? He is going to be merciless. And therefore, Telio knows he cannot actually keep on pushing the objective, right? The hatch is opened. He could keep on firing, but he knows there are roamers. He has to watch his back, and therefore, he's not going to be of great assistance to Ryu. And actually, he's just going to die right as we speak, leaving us with Madro above Ryu's shoulder. So he is going to have to do just about everything. But like you can see, Donovic is being extremely aggressive, and he's not exposing himself for too long. A few shots will be connecting. But, you know, the name of the game is to peek for such a short amount of time that with human reaction times, Thermite is not going to have the time to shoot at you. And there you go, Vizcanio getting the kill on Ryu. This is going to give us a flawless round, this time for the defense. So we have seen a flawless round played, or a flawless round being earned by Dead Astronauts. At this time, Arsenal Esports just, you know, won the same award. Therefore, both teams are showing us that they have the potential to flat out steamroll their opponents. And like I said, that's the nice thing. For the life of me, I couldn't tell you which way the wind is going to be blowing and who's going to take the next W. One pattern is starting to emerge, however. So we have seen orange wind, blue wind, orange wind, blue wind, orange. So it is really back and forth, which so far is uninterrupted. Telio just messaged me on Discord. He was spiking with 111 milliseconds of ping. So Telio, as far as I see you on 49 seconds of ping. I don't mean to caps lock. This is central. But I'm seeing. We can rehost. But yeah, that's the thing. He is not sitting at 90. He is spiking at 90, and Donovic as well. Right, he's at 90 right now, but he's gonna drop back down.
5 seconds to insertion.
Any second now, yeah, of course, just because we are east and we don't have 100 milliseconds. Okay, so maybe Donovic is actually sitting at 90 milliseconds of ping, but Telio is really just spiking at 90. So this is odd to the least. And to that, I can only say sorry. This is out of my hands. A game such as CSGO is going to allow the community to host their own servers. So if something was to go south, well, it's actually in our hands, right? But here, this is Rainbow Six. We don't get to control the servers, and therefore, if something goes wrong, we can either complain or sit around and do nothing, neither of which is actually going to solve the problem in a timely fashion. So yeah, there's that. The Astronauts once again going with the same insertion, and I like to see Vizcanio playing Ella simply because they seem to have noticed what it takes. Ryu is in extreme danger with Monting, so if you can cause him to retract his shield, it might be just enough to get the kill on him. Like, there's 3 defenders looking at him, right? There is that boy, there was Donovic, and I'm not exactly sure who the third one was. Vizcanio gonna get the kill on IQ. But no, 3 guns aimed at the feet before the shield gets deployed again might have been just enough to get the kill on Monting. However, it is not going to be the case. And Madra, after opening up that wall, he is going to see Doc right there. He sees rather the hand and the tip of the gun, so it's not enough to actually shoot at and to get the kill through, leaving us with a 3v5 situation already. Wow, Did Astronauts' push is absolutely scrambling together. Madra finally got the tiniest of angles and is going to get the kill this way. Nicely done. I didn't notice the chat didn't have time to read it before the round starts. So I'm gonna respond or react to that next round. Don't worry about it. Or don't worry. I didn't forget you. But one thing I am forgetting is to do an actual observer role because I missed just about every kill here. Montagne was kind of screwed, and that showed. It wasn't a flawless round, but it still was a 4v1 situation. I want to say. And as such, if you want to count the number of players alive at the end of the round, it was a 4-0 conclusion, right? So it was not a flawless round, but it might as well have been, right? The Montaigne as an operator has such a small firepower that he was never gonna pull it off. So there you go. There is that. like I said, I missed out on so many kills that we only had the 2 for the role swap, for the replays. But 4-2 is going to be the scoreline for the role swap, and the orange team, Arson Esports. I always forget their name. I don't know why. It just does not stick. Arson just broke the back and forth situation. They have officially won 2 rounds in a row, leaving us with a 4-2 rule swap, 4-2 scoreline for the rule swap, like I just said. And that is going to be looking good for them, to be honest. So, if I was to react to chat, I've been letting the chat idle for a bit too long. I've been friends with Austin for like 3 years. I've been friends with Apostle for about 1.5 years. Okay, wait. If I was to scroll up a bit more, so Austin's better, saying XD, and then you're saying you've been knowing the one for a bit longer than the other one. And Atomic Atlas saying Apostle Bald LMAO, Apostle Simps Cancer. Oh, did Apostle fight cancer? Is that why? I can't tell if you guys are being sarcastic or if you're trolling, because a text chat doesn't convey the tone of voice, so detecting sarcasm is extremely hard. Simp, I love this man. Lol, Simp Nation. Bro, am I the only one playing? Huh? Don is at the west server. If he was east, he'd have 120 ping, because I can't play him, and the firefights are beginning. So there's that. So let's just jump into round number 7. Round number 7. So this is not going to be Dead Astronauts defending, and therefore, even though the composition does seem fairly familiar, I mean, Arson Esports' say habits and mains are going to be fairly similar to Dead Astronauts. It doesn't mean that they're going to be doing the same thing. Like, never ever have we seen the blue team have like 4 guys, just stacked around a hatch trying to find something. However, as unexpected as it might be, it almost worked. I mean, Madro here just picked when he shouldn't have, and he lost roughly half his health. Gently will be roaming though, gets a kill, will be immediately refragged, and that was the kill on Thermite. Good kill as far as, lucky roamer frags go, as I do believe Thermite only had time to open up the 1 hatch. Therefore, Garage, Moto, or even Dirt Tunnel are going to remain sealed for the rest of the game. And as a consequence, Arson Esports' insertions, or points of insertions, are going to be extremely limited and therefore predictable. There is only 2 real staircases that lead to the basement floor. A hatch, which is right next to the base, to the staircase. So in theory, it is going to be just the same angle. That's going to be a frag and a refrag for our bandit. Zira now is ready to set foot on OBJ, but no, he's going to get shut down by Ryu pretty quickly here, leaving us with none of a class operator alive. He is still at the top floor, still looking for verticality kills. He found 1 or 2, but at the end of the day, it is not going to be enough for him to just sit at the top floor, right? He can't get the diffuser planted by looking through the floor, and he's unlikely to get like 3 kills that way, or all 3 kills, should I say, leaving us with no choice but to rush down the stairs. He has 5 HP remaining, so even if a bullet was to graze the tip of his ear after having been through 2 soft walls, he's still gonna die immediately. He's not allowed any mistakes whatsoever, which is going to make those pre-fires extremely dangerous for him. There's not too much he can do, to be honest. With only 15 seconds remaining on the clock, he's going to have to rush in extremely aggressively if he wants to have time to run from one opponent to the other, even if he was to kill him immediately. And there you go. It was over before it even started. His mistake was not to lose the 1v3. His mistake was to be in a 1v3 to begin with, i.e., ask your teammates to get more kills before they leave you alone, and hopefully the 1v2 situation or even a 1v1 situation is going to be a bit easier to succeed in than what you've just had to do right now, because definitely that was too much to ask of you, and too much to ask of just about anybody, not singling him out. It's just that Donovic was in an unwinnable situation, and the point I'm trying to make is they had lost the round by the point he was in a 1v3 situation. It's not because he died, the one was lost. So, Atomic Atlas saying Apostle had cancer, but he's good now. Well, I think that's one of the best news that you can have, because cancer is a total bitch. And, I mean, I'm not going to be the exception here, but I've lost several family members to cancer. So yeah, I know the pain this horrible disease can cause. So hearing that he was able to recover is, well, music to my ears. There's no other way to put it. So yeah, congrats, bro. I really wanted to put the emphasis on that, but at the same time, I don't want to start knowing the game. So once again, GG's. Hod King Lymphoma. At this point, however, my grasp of the English language is pretty good, but not good enough to know specific diseases by name. So I'm gonna have to look this up into Google Translate. And I do believe that, like, if I'm not mistaken, the higher the number, like stage 1, 2, 3, 4, the higher the number, the worse the cancer gets, right? So I thought stage 4 was next to a lost cause. So assuming at this point it's like general medical knowledge, at this point, if I am understanding this correctly, let's be extremely glad that he's still with us. But until then, or let's just take a look at this. We are going to be seeing Dimra play Amaru. I was quite interested to see how he was going to play that operator, because that's a, I don't want to say it is a casual player's rushing operator, but the thing is, a good player or a good team is going to, you know, have intel, drones, cameras, whichever it might be, and they're going to know where your opponent is going to be. And therefore, had Dimra been located, he would never had time to pull out his gun before he was dead, right? And that's why you rarely, if ever, see Amaru being played in competitive, and yet here she was. That insertion was interesting. He could have kept on pushing through construction and all. Didn't end up being the case. He was back on the right here. Back on the balcony last we saw. And yeah, so as such, he wasn't using his utility too much, and that's kind of the thing. And there's someone right here. Dimra, unfortunately, you were short on intel there. Let's just be happy for you that Telio, I was going to say Madra. Let's just be happy for you that Telio did not get the kill, because Telio, he could have gotten it really easily, right? Leaving us with Madra being the first line of defense. He has to hold up against 3, even maybe 4 attackers, and he just has to hold them up for ways to complete his flank. Is it just me, or was the angle being watched? It was. Donavik. If that wasn't a one-tap, it might as well have been. There was another silhouette creeping back up. This is Gently, but most likely than not, Gently is also going to be expected and properly received by Donavik. So the good news is, of course, you're diverting resources. Donavik is not actively contributing to push into the objective. And by having rotated, now would be a good time for Gently. He's made it at the top of the stairs. No rotation, and that was unfortunately reinforced. If I may, you should know that the wall's going to be reinforced. Like, you should know your team's, you know, defensive setup. But moreover, the diffuser is now being planted. He's going to have to make it back on site pretty quickly, and he's going to miss out on a few shots, which is going to attract IQ's attention, and of course, he's not going to get out of it alive. Tilo, last operator alive, is not in a position, or very unlikely to be in a position to deny the plant of the diffuser, as it has not been planted on default spot. So, the timer, or the tables have turned. Timer is now favoring the attack. Arsene Esports basically have a defensive role. IQ seems to be looking his way. Oh, this is not looking too good for him. He has to peek, and of course, he does not get the kill. So there you go, Arsene Esports winning round number 8. Arsene are looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. I mean, they did win their last game, I believe. Telio, once again, is typing me a message. Telio, yeah. He's spiking at like 314, then dropping down back down to 44. Yeah, let me just show the replays. But yeah, for the time being, Telio once again complaining about the pings, and I mean, I know the pain, right? We saw him peaking, or spiking rather, at with that last round. and has been won by Arsenal Esports, by the orange team. So
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I was almost expecting a rehost, but it doesn't appear that they're going to be asking for it. So yeah, this is unfortunate, right? They just lost their first match, and they are unfortunately on track to lose the second map as well, arguably because of the ping. I mean, it is a distinct possibility at this point, because, you know, it has cost them 1 or 2 firefights, 1 or 2 key firefights so far. That's for sure. I cannot deny that. Unfortunately, once again, I have no control on that, except if we were to be on LAN, you know, but that's something different. So yeah, I can only sympathize with Dead Astronauts. Waze, by the way, is going to be spawn peeking pretty aggressively. We've heard the camera being destroyed, but if I had to guess, yeah, so the camera, of course, you know, is just around here, right here, but it's been shot from the construction area, so the angle that Waze was peeking, nobody was there. Okay.
Located a bomb.
If I was to just try to read the chat, no, apologies, hack answer, bro. I'm dead. You going? Great game, Austin. Okay. I have to officiate it. Of course, I am. Undead your captain and what? Okay, players. There's like 2 discussions going on at the same time. Cause ministers cost money, and I'm not gonna marry him for free. LMAO, he broke. Nah, he said he'd pay, but I won't let him. At least he's got a PC now. Thank you. Make your wish, the OG. Yeah, stage 4 is considered gone. He took cancer and in the eyeballs and said no. You goddamn it, Aquatic. That is amazing to hear, for real. Like, I don't know him on a personal level, but I have so much sympathy for like the situation. So yeah, the no you was amazing. You know, reverse out here, and he's carrying the team. That was just bad moments. So that's good to know. You know, he's back on his feet is the best thing we could expect, or he could ask of anybody. So good news is Ryu is still there, still going strong. Bad news is he's dead. The other bad news is the remaining defenders are nowhere near OBJ. So Arsenal Esports are on their way to plant the diffuser and to basically win out a perfect round. They know what to expect. Planting on the desk like that, the Nitro Cell is unlikely to get a kill. Default spot has been attempted, but the diffuser is not right there. So things are extremely dire for Dead Astronauts. Gently attempting a run out. What are you doing, Gently? Are you just giving up? I don't know what he was doing, but he's been cut down extremely quickly. And there you go. Arsenal Esports getting another flawless round. So both teams were able to, you know, earn that title once, but now Arsenal Esports have it twice. Dead Astronauts, they are not to be considered, you know, already gone for. They were able to win 3 rounds, so they can still, you know, get 1 or 2 more in the bag. But can we realistically expect them to win like 3 in a row and to bring this in potential overtime situations? Since of course we are going to be seeing a match point situation. I don't know. It's not going to be easy for them at the very least, but I don't expect them to give up. One thing is for sure, they are irritated, and not just a little bit. Like I've been messaged by Telio many times in a row. I hate the pings. He's talking about the pings, complaining about the pings. What the fuck pings, right? And I told him basically what I've told out loud. They're entitled to rehost, but I can't do too much about Ubisoft's servers. So be it as it may, they can try a rehost, but that's the extent of what we as the community can do for servers that we don't control, right? Once again, making the comparison to CSGO, or another really niche competitive game that is made by a really small studio, so most of you probably know it, but just have heard of it at most. Insurgency Sandstorm, really good game. I would highly recommend it. That game allows you to host your own servers, so that's amazing, because should you should you want to have a server, you really do have to control over it. So that's amazing. But Rainbow Six doesn't allow for that, and it's a shame, to be honest. I mean, hosting a server is really not too costly for just about anybody who wants to get into it, right? I mean, if you can't host it on your computer, on your own connection for some reason, you can rent one from, you know, well, companies whose business is to rent servers for like less than $5 a month. And yeah, if you can't afford $5 a month, probably somebody in your team probably can. So this is all I want to say. Ubisoft, you be pleased on so many different levels. The anti-cheat, I mean, the game is really locked down at its core, right? The anti-cheats, nothing can interface with the game, unlike CSGO. Once again, you have so many anti-cheat softwares on CSGO because they can actually talk to the game. Whereas here, your only anti-cheat is basically a scanning tool. You're not actually connecting with the game. No access to servers, no access to just about anything, unfortunately. Mods. So, there's that. But let's just get back into the game. Telio with the roam. Telio with the roam getting a nice double kill. How did I miss that? He is likely to get the third, but oh no, he's gonna potato a bit too much. Still gonna get the kill, and his ping is at 49, so this is entirely playable. And there you go. He's going to be cut down, but he's still got 3k. He's still got a solid 3k on his own, and that's going to be a double kill. Who ran back up the stairs? Gently for Dead Astronauts, winning round number 4 for the blue team at the very least. And like I said, 3 to 6 scoreline. The comeback, the climb is going to be steep. It is not going to be easy, but they are not going to be giving up for sure, since, you know, giving up is the single worst thing you can do. Even, yeah, let's pronunciation, even if your odds of coming back are, say, 1 in 5, 1 in 10, 1 in 20, 1 in 100, if you were to give up, your chances at a comeback drop down to exactly 0. And this is why you don't want to be given up forever. Do not ever think to yourself, it is over. It ain't over till it's over. Is a good expression that really does encapsulate what I am trying to say. And there you go. That nice church defense, well, hasn't even been played on church. It's been played in the bar area entirely. So, the slightly bad news is they've lost upstairs, you know, 2 rounds in a row. So if history was to be any indication, going CCTV would be considered somewhat of a risk. But you just won downstairs, so you can either go CCTV again, I'm not even going to mention bar, or you could choose bedroom. Bedroom defense, this is a tertiary bomb site, so it's not exactly the easiest area to defend in that map, but they would rather take their chances here instead of trying, or, you know, compared to the alternative of trying to defend CCTV again. So this is going to be the gamble they're going to be making, and if they bet wrong, well, it is going to be GG. If they bet wrong, there's going to be no coming back from that mistake. So if you are a Dead Astronauts fan, if you're a Dead Astronauts supporter, let's just hope for you and your team's sake that they made the right call. It remains to be seen, because one thing is for sure, Arsenal Esports probably expected to be going against CCTV, and they probably handpicked a composition to attack CCTV. So now that they're not going to be doing so, well, they are going to have to improvise and adapt accordingly. One thing I do want to point out is that you're going to be seeing Twitch, and Twitch is, well, an odd operator. We rarely, if ever, see her. And the idea being, well, you cannot really, through Vitality, and it's going to be destroyed as I speak, you cannot really destroy those bandit batteries with, you know, a Zofia or anything along those lines. Plus, you know, there's no Thatcher in that game. So, yeah. Donovic's drone is going to get shut down, though, and that's really Twitch's biggest, I want to say, flaw or biggest problem. It is so easy to destroy the drone as soon as it's been spotted, so take that with a grain of salt. So, match point situation. 1 minute 35 seconds remaining on the clock. He is going to be aggressively peeking, and that was a risk he decided to take. That boy is now down. Is likely gonna get revived by Donovic if he doesn't want to revive himself first. and it's going to be the latter rather than the former. Therefore, 3v4 situation, that boy is going to be extremely lit. And Waze, just like Telio, is going to be aggressively peeking when he, technically speaking, doesn't really have to. So this kind of risk-taking can really turn around and bite them in the butt if they are not careful. Gently is going to get a nice kill. Is he going to translate this into a double kill? No, it is instead going to develop into a frag and refrag situation. So, you know, I was saying 3v4, now 2-3. At the end of the day, Arsenal Esports are still only down one player. It is still doable. Doable, but not exactly easy. Thing is that Astronauts still have a really strong hold on the OBJ itself. It's not as if the remaining defenders, yeah, were roamers that had to retake the bomb site. No, the attackers are really going to go up against a coordinated defense. For example, right here, Vizcanio biting the dust. He was being shot at from 2 angles at once. And Donovic doesn't trust himself to jump into a window because, you know, there's that one by the CCTV area. And he is going to be making the right call. But watching the angle like a hawk, it's supposed to guarantee you the victory in that firefight. Unfortunately, Waze said, no, it is not happening today. And there you go. He had to peek twice. Didn't get the kill. Didn't get the headshot for the first time. But, you know, didn't even have to go into 3rd times the charm territory before he was actually able to finish out the round. And that is going to be another round 1 for the blue team. Now a 6-5 situation. The comeback is almost complete. They only have to win out one single last round, and then it is going to be the overtime situation that is going to be happening. However, what I said last time holds true even more now than before. Meaning by that, simply, I said they have a hard time, the Astronauts, to win their defenses in the CCTV area. But now that they went downstairs in the bedroom back-to-back, you can either go CC or bar. And are the Astronauts really going to go bar? No, let's be real. No, they're not, right? And therefore, once again, historically speaking, they are now in a really tough spot. They'll have to win a round on a bomb site that they have won never. If I was to look at the historical data that we have, they have only been able to prevail here on attack. And of course, they do not have that luxury yet. So yeah, that is gonna be extremely worrisome or worrying if you are a blue team supporter. However, if I was to look at it from the other angle, if I was to maybe play the devil's advocate, they have had two opportunities to play here, and they've lost twice. Got it? But they also had 2 opportunities to learn out their opponents' playstyles, right? They studied Arsenal Esports, they learned how they're attacking, they learned, you know, where the push is coming from, and now presumably they are going to be adapting themselves and reacting accordingly. For example, right here, Headache didn't take a single bullet worth of damage, but still Gently has shown admirably that he knows where the push is going to be coming from, and he has positioned himself accordingly. I do believe Telio is also in an aggressive peeking position. I thought, seeing him in 3rd person, that he was attempting a spawn kill, but still, I mean, if somebody was to walk in through the main door, he is going to, you know, shred them to pieces within seconds. But that yet has to happen. I don't see anybody trying to peek in from that angle. At most, he's gonna be spotted. He's gonna shoot down 1 or 2 drones, which, you know, has its worth. But at the end of the day, it is not going to be contributing too much to the team. That is part number 1. Part number 2 is, what are the attackers actually doing? Like, we've taken a look at Telio. We've seen where they're not. So that is only part of the puzzle. So Ash has apparently destroyed the ceiling, and even though she was no longer there, Magro could have used his bandit batteries to, you know, bandit tricks a little bit. He elected not to. That is going to allow Donovic to open up the wall and to get shot at from Gently, actually. So he might even have been better off not breaching that wall. Telio getting a kill on Headache, leaving us with a 4v5 situation. Gently right here has been spotted out, but he isn't being pushed so far. There is a silhouette on the ceiling, so Vizcanio could easily, you know, rappel down and then become a pain in the butt for Gently. But for the time being, it is just not going to be the case. And him dropping down is going to make it so that Donovic basically has an open area, or, you know, an open house. He can just walk right in. An open OBJ, should I say. That is, except for Waze, that's going to be on his left side. I said Waze. So as long as your right is covered, you know, with a hypothetical smoke canister, or smoke grenade rather, You can just walk in. And right here, we are going to learn the hard way that Wiz is right there. How come, Viscanio, did you not expect somebody to be there? And that's going to be a double kill. But while he's going to be reloading, Dimra, I believe, no, it's Donovic. Donovic has been able to insert himself, and he is going to start to plant the diffuser. So it is basically going to come down to Dimra's capabilities of covering his teammate. Diffuser has been put down. He is not covered whatsoever. I mean, if he is peeked or pushed, Dimra is likely to get outgunned. But Ryu is now in a 1v2 situation, so tables have absolutely turned. And it's going to be a kill. Now a 1v1 situation. He has to push in, and he gets the kill. This is thus going to be an overtime situation. Dead Astronauts, even though they were down 3-6, they have said, not today, and they are bringing this back up. We are officially seeing the overtime happening, and from now on, just about anything can still happen. I mean, both teams are going to be playing with at 6 rounds, so nobody, or 6 points. That means nobody has the intrinsic advantage. But that in and of itself, even though it doesn't mean much, should probably already be an achievement in and of itself for Dead Astronauts. They won 3 rounds in a row after all. And that is a feat that Arsenal Esports cannot claim for themselves. They were in a 6-3, but it's because they won like 2 rounds and then they lost 1, 2 rounds and they lost 1. A ratio along those lines. They never, ever got, that many rounds back to back to back. So if you want to look at it this way, Dead Astronauts, maybe they even perform better under pressure. It is rare, but it does happen to see teams or players, individual players, behave like that. At this point, we are entering into human psychology territory, which I am in no way qualified to talk about in an informed fashion. But that's interesting to see how they were, having a hard time performing at the beginning of the game, and then, as a team, their performances just went straight up. But it doesn't mean that it is over, actually. I mean, they still have to win 2 rounds, and of course, Arsenal Esports, they have shown us that they are also worthy of being in that overtime situation. And if you want to look at it this way, Arsenal Esports, now they should be the ones that are starting to win their rounds. After all, what I said about the Astronauts now is going to hold true for Arsenal, since they were the ones that just lost. The blue team, after having won a few rounds in a row, they have shown their hand. They have shown their habits, their strategies, and their playstyle to Arsenal Esports. And now, in theory, it's the orange team that has every single piece of knowledge necessary to devise an effective strategy to counter Dead Astronauts' strategies. So let's see how it plays out. Ryu has just dropped down. The hatch is still reinforced. He just dropped down from the box here. I was halfway worried there for a sec. Gently is using the cameras from the top of the red stairs, so he is absolutely roaming. Wouldn't have expected anything less of him. Like, I mean, Vigilant Bomb Site, that would have been odd, to say the least. And if he's not cautious when he's cloaked, Zimra is going to discover him pretty quickly. The drone is not coming his way. It's turning around. Is it? Yeah, it's going to spot him. Donovic seems to be expecting it. Cloaked as he is, yeah, Ash definitely knew he was there. Thing is, could have been theoretically a floor below, but of course Donovic was not gonna bite, or was not gonna take the bait. Gently saying your ping. I'm looking at the ping and I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary. At this point, I can only suppose that the players are being fed different information than I, because, I mean, Gently saying it's fucking disgusting. I don't see any like 400 or 300 ping, anything along those lines. So either the players are saying something different, or I am seeing something that is inaccurate. One way or the other, something's going on. Something's going on. But be it as it may, once again, I feel like I'm just beating a dead horse. They are entitled to a rehost if they want it, so go for it if you feel like the ping is providing an unfair advantage to your opponent. But until then, let's just keep on playing. Pressure on the blue area is mounting, and had Taylor not rotated, that boy's second impact nade would probably have killed him. Dimra is going to get a frag, and Dimra is going to get a double cap frag. Rehost if you want, for real. This is all I can offer you. He's going to put one down, but he is still pinned heavily. And there you go, Arsenal Esports winning a flawless round. It is not over just yet. Matter saying, oh my bad. If I think it's too much, because once again, I don't see anything that will warrant a rehost, but it's up to the players to decide. And so far, they don't seem to be. Il vient de prendre 128. You be pleased is all I can say. Once again, I'm very sorry. I mean, I do see that there's a problem. And it sucks to say that I can do nothing about that. But for real, there's nothing I can do.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
To be running. Okay, so they're gonna be probably asking me to check if there was a VPN running in the background. So we can always do that. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so we haven't, because I was typing or chatting with the players, I haven't had time to show the replays, and of course I'm not going to start doing so right now.
5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
We'll do, okay. Once again, I'd like to just ask you guys to type in English so both teams can know what's going on. So we went church. It's been won by Arsenal Esports. Round number 14 is going to be to see Dead Astronauts attacking, and just like Dead Astronauts, Arsenal Esports will be defending the bottom floor. Demra has been hiding behind the bar. I want to say bar. Has been hiding behind the bar, hasn't been spotted out by Telio. Telio, who has run up the stairs, so Jimra probably expected to be, knifing Telio in the back. That did not end up being the case, and I really do only have to suppose that he's playing Blitz as a direct counter to the ping situation, because if you were to be picked in a swift fashion, which you couldn't see because of the ping and all that good stuff, well, there's still a shield between you and your opponent. So that could mitigate the ping situation a little bit, but it still would be, something to keep in mind. One thing is for sure, Telio has not been spotted, and he's already starting to eat some utility. I mean, that boy tossing, and that's gonna be a double kill for Dimra. Nicely done. Yeah, so he's eating, toxic babes and all that good stuff. But it doesn't seem as if eating toxic babes in and of itself is going to grant you a victory right now. As we can see, this was unfortunately apparently a team kill or a team injured. Ryu is going to get a knife, nicely done. He is going to be left in a 2v3 situation. Can be brought back up to 2v4 if he was to revive Dimra. And we know exactly how dangerous the knife is, but he's not going to get close enough to get the knife down, leaving us with Madro in a 1v3 situation. Once again, can be brought back up to 1v4. It is going to be a 1v4 situation. And his position so far is not known. But that's just about the only good move there is. He is now spotted, and he is going to go down. Arsenal Esports, I do believe, winning the game. Yes, exactly, winning the game. So GG's to you. And yes. Telio asking for Moss. I'm going to have to look for Moss, yes. Yes. So there you go. Donovic going to be the MVP for his team. And kills wise, wow, that was intense. Donovic, 18 kills, 14, 10, and then it drops down. Telio, 10, 3, and 7. Unfortunately, I couldn't see how many kills the other guys had, simply because they all had already left at this point. So, yeah, GG's to just about everybody. It was a nice game.
GG's,
I mean,
guys,
even if Dead Astronauts ended up losing, it was an overtime situation. Dimmer asking stream. Yeah, so the stream is twitch.tv/Hansa4, exactly like my Uplay gamer tag if you want to take a look at it. And I'm going to have to ask you to turn in the MOS files, not just because it's a good habit, but because, as you saw in the chat, I'm being asked to actually comb through them. So yeah, please don't forget to upload your MOS files to Mediafire and then post the share link into the Battlefy game chat. And
Alright, for sure.
awesome. And I would usually, do a winner's interview, but it looks like I'm gonna have the extra step of looking at the MOS files. So this is gonna be taking away some of my time. Just to make all of you. So, well, everybody is supposed to turn in the MOS either way, right? Simply because I don't want to be like in a position to have to run after them every time I have to take a look. But yeah, I've been asked to comb through every single MOS file, every single 5 of you. So yeah, once again, GG's. And if the game or if the MOS doesn't turn anything in, well, it was a nice game to say the least. And yeah, that's basically it. Like, I've heard them talk about the ping once or twice, or many times.
May I say something, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
May I say? I know my pings on every server. I'm a West player, but I'm always playing Central or East because of the players I play with on the daily.
Yep.
That was not Central because I run a constant 60 to 50 on Central.
Let me check the stream. I'm just gonna check because I might have made a mistake.
Because Viz over here, he's also West with me, and he also gets 60 ping recently.
I'm gonna check. It might have been my mistake. Let's check the videos. So give me like 30 seconds to comb through the VOD to find the actual point where I created the lobby. It would have been unfortunate if I... It is going to be quite small. Oh, it's right here. It is right here. So let's put this in full screen to give ourselves as much a chance as possible. Created on ESL. It was not Central, it was actually East US.
Alright.
You're right.
So, alright.
That's
I was really confused because I know I literally play on the East and Central over my own servers because that's just how what comp is all about, you know.
Yeah. My bad. I thought East was the new standard or the new default, so I didn't even change it when starting the game. I am going to get into the habit of not making that mistake again.
Just make sure to double check. But other than
yeah,
that,
I'll do that. My bad.
You're fine, man.
So yeah, don't forget to turn in the MOS, and once again, GG's. And
yeah,
well,
GG's,
since we're here, do you guys want to do like a quick little interview?
Yeah, I'm down. I mean,
all right. Well, let's just do it. So we still have 25 minutes before the server dissolves, so I think we have plenty of time. So at the beginning of the game, for the first half, basically, it was a back and forth, right? You won a round, you lost a round. You won a round, you lost a round. But then you were able to win like 2 rounds in a row, which gave you the 4-2 roll, 4-2 scoreline before the role swap. Just seeing at how close it was, were you kind of worried, or were you actually excited when you saw that you had the slightest lead?
So how I look at it honestly is we had some players. We won those first. Did we win the first 2 rounds? I don't remember if we won the.
No, you won round number 1, but you lost round number 2.
Okay, so yeah, we won that first round because I kind of like.
Oh no, he's cutting off. I think you cut off there.
They cut me off?
Yeah, I mean, your mic just cut off, but I'm hearing you fine now.
The Montang just made it really hard for us to concentrate because of the fact that we're not you don't see a Montang every other day in a comp match, so
yeah,
that was kind of new for us, and we still had some players waking up, but by the time everyone woke up, that's how we got that 4 switch.
Okay, so it was basically a matter of having to warm up first, and then
you
were
getting
in the group of things.
Some of our players don't play PC. They still they're.
Okay, so they're playing console. I'm sorry, your mic cut off again. But you're saying some of your players are playing console, I assume?
So some of our players are still playing console, yes. And so the Switch is still kind of, it's like they're still making the Switch, but they still want to prioritize both.
I see.
But yeah, once everyone woke up, it was just we're on the same page, same wavelength.
I
on
see.
that.
And so you were able to win, more rounds than your opponents when you're attacking. And you could argue this is a defense-sided map, so this could have been a bit worrying. This was looking good, actually. But then they started coming back when they had the defense, right? They won 3 rounds in a row, which is actually something you cannot claim for yourselves. And were you worried at this point that they were maybe mounting the comeback?
It was kind of worrying us a little bit. I think once we realized that there was wake up.
Okay, I see. Well, I think this is just about every question I had for you guys. So once again, GG's for the victory. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you next week.
Yes.
Basically, I hope I'm free to cast your games whenever you end up scheduling them next week. And just for the little anecdote, more for the stream than for you guys. You have played both Dead Astronauts rosters this week, right? The Astronauts have 2 teams.
We had that feeling that we were playing both their rosters because we recognized the tags.
Okay, so you're saying they had like the same attack patterns on both rosters, which would make them a bit more predictable?
Yeah, yes and no. Those players were definitely not on the level of the other roster. I feel like the roster we played with the week previous, or the match previous to this one, was definitely a lot more skilled and.
Yeah, these players would be the second roster, so it does make sense.
Yeah, so I saw that they wouldn't their refrags were very weak, and they didn't hold certain like.
God damn it.
But honestly, if they just worked on some like small thing, they could be playing just about the same level as their main.
I see what you mean. So yeah, thank you for being here, and I hope to be casting you again next week. But once again, for tonight, I think this is about just about every question or piece of subject that comes to mind. So once again, GG's, and until then, see you next week, and take care.
Okay, you too, man.
I see you, man. And so yeah, this is gonna be it for tonight. I'm just going to check if I have the this is the wrong thing. Who won? Arsenal Esports won in overtime, so it was still pretty close. 8 teams this one. Let's check in the bracket if we have. This is gonna be against Arsenal Esports. Telio is entering a few moss files for his teammates. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna have to ask the Arsenal Esports guys to turn in the moss files once more, but that's gonna be done and they're gonna be analyzed off stream since a few sensitive informations can be included in the moss files. So we're not gonna do this publicly. But yeah, I'm going to comb through them to make sure everything was clean since they have been asked for. I mean, the astronauts, they found something was iffy, and there you go, there's that. But other than that, thank you all for being here. There was another game that was supposed to be played tonight. I think it was, let me actually check. I'm gonna have to open up my my calendar app. Let's just pop that open real quick. Also, yeah, there was supposed to be another match going on at the same time tonight, which is going to further, advance not the roster but the standings. It was the match between Hostile Action and Mishmash Gaming. Wait, what? It's been played yesterday, actually. It's been played yesterday, and for some reason they must have changed up the scheduling. That's why we had this confusion yesterday. Okay, so my bad on that front. Nothing really happened there. Instead, so that game has just been played, won by Arsenal Esports in a 8-6 fashion. And the last game that has to be played is going to be the match between OnlyFans and Phoenix Rebirth. So they will either have to be played this weekend, or they will both have to have a sanction for basically no show. So yeah, maybe there's gonna be another stream to this weekend for that game. But one thing's for sure, tomorrow I will have the tournaments. So I'm running this league and also weekly tournaments. If you guys are interested in participating in Go For style weekly tournaments, just type !TAL in chat, and the bot will respond with the registration link. So yeah, expect to see us on stream tomorrow, but for something that is not exactly that league right here. But still, if you would like to see the cast, if you want to play for yourself in a slightly more chilled and laid back environment, feel free to do so. But until then, thank you all for being here. See you all tomorrow, and until there, take care and have an amazing rest of the night. Right, bye bye.
Désamorceur a été récupéré par Alpha. Attackers are activating the bomb diffuser. été abandonné. Encore 10 secondes. Alpha, defender is approaching a kill zone. Defender has been discovered. Sur d'Alpha. Bomb diffuser.